presto, you can actually move your funds off of Robinhood, and you got a wallet spun up. Because that's what we were talking about last week, Chad. I don't think Robinhood's gonna be as liquid as before.
Okay. Well, so what other, I mean, and the reason why I kind of like Robinhood, even though I know that I've heard some other things about it, was that they don't charge you, they don't charge you a fee to move everything. I mean, I'm not paying anything extra. I mean, I do understand where they're making their money, but I just don't, but I mean, to be able to kind of just, because I mean, I've done all kinds of weird stuff and it hasn't cost me a dime. And I mean, and if I just kind of sit tight, I mean, it's kind of annoying because I watch what's going on. And of course I know we talked, I talked about, how I do something other than Bitcoin, but we won't go there too much because every time I make money, I just take the money out and put it into my Bitcoin. So I'm making money off these other weird things and putting it, and any profits that I make, I put into Bitcoin. And I've made like, I mean, to me, I've made like $100 and something just moving things around. And it's cost me nothing. I was able to buy more Bitcoin with that $100 because that's what I do with my profit. So now y'all have me really worried about.
Well, if you try to get your money off there and they lock you out and they don't let you do anything, then it's a problem. But until that happens, I guess you're okay.
So are there other platforms that you can do that thing with that are better?
I'll let Max talk about that.
Okay.
Oh go ahead, Jim. My mic just went in and out real quick, so I didn't get the whole thing. All I was gonna just touch on that is I don't really think there's any other platforms that allow that type of free trading, but I'm not sure.
I don't know. Coinbase is a popular one. There's many others. Just Robinhood just doesn't have a good reputation, and especially for stocks. Maybe not so much the Bitcoin, but the stocks is very.
I did hear something about that.
There's a whole meme stock thing with GME where they took the buy button away and you couldn't buy when the prices were going up, and they have something called pay for order flow, PFOF it's called. So they're not always probably giving you the best yield if you're buying stocks, and charging you a lot more that way. Okay, maybe you don't actually get a charge, but you're paying a lot more for that stock. So
gotcha.
I don't know if you're using it for stocks or anything, but
I just dabbled just a tiny tad.
Just they've laid a bunch of people off recently. They just don't have, they're just not a very honest company, I don't think. I think they do a lot of things in the background that are not good. So, they came about because of the gamification side and, really, I think rocked the industry. But I don't know so much now if they're so great, but
yeah, the other thing is I wouldn't use
PayPal either, but go ahead, Max.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're kind of, through a certain platform, I have to use PayPal in order to get paid. So there's, there's forced roads you have to take sometimes. But I don't think there's other places where, and it depends on the platform, but most of that stuff, if you're trading on Kraken and you buy some junk coin to trade for Bitcoin, I don't know if every platform offers free internal trading, because again, everywhere eventually something's got to get traded on said chain, and that has fees depending on what it is. But if no fees, and somebody's going to take something off of that. So
I know FTX is a pretty low one too as far as fees go, but I think this is a little bit more for the advanced user. But
exactly,
Coinbase,
now you're getting into.
I don't know. There's many out there. Go watch some YouTube videos and get some opinions. Or try a couple.
What I was gonna do, Melissa, tonight, because you cut off last week, and as I was getting into the wallet, I wanted to give a quick keynote that I've done before on Bitcoin wallets. So I have that here, but keep shooting questions while I get it open like that. But yeah, for any exchanges, just find something that's reputable, which allows like free internal trading. But make sure you can always withdraw your Bitcoin. That's the key. Not your keys, not your
Yes.
Bitcoin.
I was just going to say that, Max. Yep. Not your keys, not your crypto. So if you're keeping it on that exchange and you don't have the keys, it's not yours. And if that exchange goes down or goes bankrupt, your money's gone. You're not going to get it back.
Yes, and
So
that's what
you've
they
done things
had.
right by, if you got your wallet, you're so far ahead of everybody else. So kudos to you. Good for you.
Oh, thank you.
And you have that seed phrase, your 12-word seed phrase, and then your
Oh,
other
yeah, that
password. You got that written
that
down
does
in
stress
a
me out
safe.
just a little bit. Yes,
Yeah,
that
don't
stresses me out just a little bit.
Just keep those words. Make sure you got the order. Yeah, there you go. He's got everything up here.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll run through it super quick. We've never done, I don't think I've ever done a video on this one outside of other ones, but that's the whole point of what a Bitcoin wallet actually does. You are the holder of those keys. The better terminology for a Bitcoin wallet should be, and Melissa, I think I said that last week to you, but it should be like a key ring, where your public key is where you send that to, it's like your mailing address. Your private key is it's the difference between your address and your physical metal front door key, which unlocks the door. It's kind of more in tune with the key ring rather than like an actual wallet. So you got to have those keys. If you just have it on an exchange, like Chad says, they actually have the key. You don't. So yeah, again, stores your value, and it actually gives you a function to move those things. I've already touched on why the wallet term. It's just easier to visualize. It should be more for like a keychain for holding keys. And there's no physical storage of any of this stuff. Again, you just hold a proof that you can go and move those funds. I don't like to get into the super deep, but technically speaking, no one holds Bitcoin, because technically Bitcoin cannot leave the Bitcoin system. So all people hold are keys to which allow you to access a very specific and a lot of funds. Let's see, yeah, right there. So a better way to look at it is, a Bitcoin wallet is like a viewer of a set amount of Bitcoin that you can move. You actually can't go and ever possess Bitcoin. It's always stored on the Bitcoin network, and it can never move. All you own is keys, of which give you access to that.
Gotcha.
Again, you already got your public key, private key thing. That's your public key is your address. Your private key, technically speaking, your private key actually looks very similar to this. And I think I have an example somewhere of that. Maybe not, maybe in a different one. We have chosen, as Bitcoin developer, not saying me specifically, but Bitcoin development over time has chosen to make it more legible. So instead of trying to remember, BC1 QT 160, we've added more English or traditional language words and phrases for your private key. But your private key is actually a string of text, numbers and letters like that. But again, we've added something where it looks like so. And that's your example. Again, when you go and set up a wallet, I'll run through a quick blue wallet, which I think that's what you've chose to use. You'll look at the screen and see it's very similar. It's 1 through 12 words and 1 through 24, and they're, as listed. This is not a private key. This is an example, but there is a set of 2,048 words. And again, by you picking that arrangement, obviously spelled correctly, you have more chances you have more winning chances to grab an atom in the universe than to correctly guess the private key. So that's a quite secure method to do so. There's two types of ways that you can prove that you have funds or hold those funds. You can actually have one key, and that goes to one wallet. That's how most wallets works. It's a single key. It's a single sig, one private key. Then you can have multiple keys. So envision a box at the bank. I'm blanking on the name for the box all of a sudden, but you
Safety
just have your,
deposit box.
thank you.
It's the
You have your
safety.
safety
You're all good.
deposit box where there's only one key, and you have that key. Say you die or you lose that key, the contents are lost forever. Obviously, unless you have a backup. For a multi-signature, it would be having two keyholes for two separate keys, different, and they would have to be turned simultaneously in order to open up the contents. You can do that exact same thing in Bitcoin, and it's quite easy to set up. It just takes an additional step per however many keys that you want. I really like this quote from one of our kind of Bitcoin curators and more educational content. The main difference with a Bitcoin wallet is that it doesn't actually store any Bitcoin. It exists solely on the ledger, on the blockchain. And a wallet stores the keys required to sign the transactions that send that Bitcoin. Where when you sign a transaction with your wallet, you show proof that you have the right to spend those coins. So it's all about, what I hold, and are you allowed, or is that person viewing it allowed to spend it? Again, you can't lose funds unless you lose access to, and we've chosen to have access in that word phrase. There's two ways to kind of store it. Again, it's easier for visualization, but I can give you a little more detail what it actually means. You have two different types of wallets. You got hot and cold. Basically, a hot wallet is you have a Bitcoin wallet on your phone. This is the most insecure way to store Bitcoin. Again, it's much better than on an exchange, of course. You actually hold the keys, but this is the worst way to store Bitcoin because it means that you're always connected to the internet, which gives you a attack vector threat potentially, and your keys are on again, going in line with the internet, they are stored on one single device that has a lot of constant pings to it. So basically, if you're connected to the internet, that's a hot device. A cold device is something that is holding those 12 or 24 words, that private key, offline. So the most basic way that you can envision those offline is you set up your wallet, you write down those 12 or 24 words on a piece of paper, you verify that you moved the funds properly, and then you delete the wallet on your phone.
Oh, okay.
Because you don't need those on your phone unless you're trying to send and receive often, which is not usually the case, but that's a different context. If you're just storing your funds, say on your cold wallet, it's just the keys. There is no spending that can be easily done. So your phone is not connected to the internet, or you just don't have the keys on your phone, or they're actually wrote again on a piece of paper, preferably a piece of metal in your safe or something like that. But the basic difference is a hot wallet and a cold wallet. A hot wallet is connected to the internet. A cold wallet is not. More detailed is just a little bit more farther away from you going to send a transaction. So these are examples, like a wallet that's actually on the web. Like you actually need to log into Google Chrome or Firefox or Brave, and you set up a browser like that. Those are the worst wallets. Not only is it web hosted, but somebody else's private key potentially there that can also view that. A desktop is usually hot, again, because it's your computer, but it usually has the highest features available for that said wallet. A mobile wallet, again, it's on your phone, it's 24/7 on the go, which is awesome, very easy to set up, most convenient. But again, all these things are connected to the internet in some way, shape, or form. A cold wallet is usually a physical device that has no digital representation, such as a piece of paper, or you can set up computers to, be a offline device, such as a hardware Bitcoin wallet. And there's a couple examples here. But again, hot means you're on the internet, cold means you're off. So what is actually in a wallet? And I'll show this in a hot second. You can obviously see what is in there, how much you have to spend. That's your balance. You can see what you've sent and received in the past, obviously send and receive. Something is called an XPub. This is how your wallet makes more addresses. Basically, every Bitcoin wallet comes with like 1,000 Bitcoin addresses, and it's always good practice to send to a different one each time. It's less likely that you will have transactions combined together, which is really helpful for your own privacy's sake. I don't need to know what you got for your salary this week plus what you spent at the grocery store. It's just not information that one should be required to disclose. The next thing which is important to know, in order to how to recover funds, say that you lost your phone or you accidentally deleted the wallet, you do need your recoveries of your private keys, but more specifically, not all the time, but it does help to have this information. It's something called a derivation path. Basically, you can visualize your private keys are similar to the X on the treasure map. Okay, that's where the gold is buried. Your derivation path is the way, actually, the actual trail itself that a Bitcoin wallet will take on the Bitcoin network to give you access to that buried treasure. So the private keys are like the X marks the spot. The derivation path is the actual line from your start to finish where you need to go. So it really helps to have a path instead of, hey, here's the private keys. I don't know exactly how to get there. That's where sometimes people cannot recover a wallet because they did not have the derivation path. This has now been updated since we have Taproot, so I do need to update this. But Taproot has included a little, not a T up front, but I believe it's a P, if I'm not mistaken. But there's a couple different address types. The old versions were a 1 or a 3. But so that means that you're actually sending to an older style Bitcoin address. Everything is compatible, but it is nice to know. Yeah, right there it is. I did have the P. So it's actually, the new version is BC1P, and these are where you're mostly going to see addresses. So as long as it says BC1 something, or maybe there's a 1 in front of it or a 3, you can even have a vanity address, very similar to a vanity license plate. I just did the example. I did my name. You could do something in full character. It does reduce your privacy, but that is always an option as well. But it is always nice to just kind of look, see if it says BC1, that means it's an updated wallet type, and you'll have good confidence that it'll be able to send very easily there. It is very helpful if you can to, well, actually, before I even say that, so how does your wallet actually work? Your wallet needs to basically connect to the Bitcoin network. The Bitcoin network is free, open. Everybody's running a version of it. That's what you see on the screen that I always have, mempool.space. That is a Bitcoin blockchain visualizer, and you can actually see the blockchain in real time. But how does your wallet connect there? Well, your wallet is, you either are running that blockchain or you're using somebody else's version of that blockchain. So it's always best to connect to your own version of the blockchain, and that is your own full node. So it's always got to connect to a full node. You're either connecting to yours or you're connecting to somebody else's. It's always best to connect to yours for privacy reasons. There is instances where people will feed you bad data in order to trick you into sending Bitcoin to a different address. So that has happened. But there's all wallets have to connect to a node. Most of your wallets have pretty detailed secure features at this point. Before they didn't, but most of them do have a backup option. Some is actually required, and that goes into not only your private keys, but derivation paths, so on and so forth. Most do have multi-signature available, and for your security, like most other platforms, you need 2FA. And how you increase your security on your Bitcoin wallet is to increase the potentials of your keys, basically the number, and that means you need to increase your randomness. So a higher entropy the better that you have. So again, I would rather have 24 words for my private keys than 12, because there's a lower probability that somebody's going to guess those than 12 words. There's two different versions, like what we said. Either you have the private keys or somebody else does. That's custodial or not custodial, or self-custody. Self-custody, again, you're holding custodial somebody else's. There's some interesting wallets that actually do like co-signing through like a 202. That's Moon Wallet or Blockstream Green. And of course, you can have a your fingerprint lock or Face ID or something. And of course, passphrases per wallets are very helpful. Now, again, to note, you could potentially lock yourself out of those funds, even if you have the private keys and derivation path, but you do not know the passphrase. So all of those extra security steps could potentially lead to other recovery issues. So there's other different wallets that are not just simple, Bitcoin wallets. Some actually have certain features. Again, hardware wallets are usually a physical device. Preferably, we like to see them open source so you can verify what's actually going on, and they're not connected to the internet. There's other wallets that have a feature strictly for collaborative transactions. Those are called coin joins, and improves your privacy. As well as some that route through Tor, again, for networking, improve your privacy, and very helpful wallets, again, like Blue Wallet, allow you to select your own fees, and most importantly, you can actually label your transactions so you don't know, so you know what you just transacted a couple weeks ago. I promise you will forget. It is nice to see how it's listed, Bitcoin or Sats, what your local currency is. Another premium feature that some wallets do not have, but it's very helpful too. Melissa, you have this with Samurai Wallet. This is an awesome wallet to use. Something called replace by fee and coin control. What that means is, say you send a transaction and it was a cheaper price, you needed that transaction to get through in 60 minutes instead of 4 or 5 hours. You can go and bump the fee up to have that process a little bit faster. You're going to pay for it, but you use that function called replace by fee, and therefore you can improve your transaction confirmation times, which is really nice. Another feature on those wallets is something called coin control, where again, you can spend directly from an address that you received to. I know this is a little bit complicated without actually having a working video or a demo to describe RBF or coin control, but these are things that help you reduce your fees and give you more advanced end result features, like getting improving your privacy or getting a transaction spent faster. Excuse me. You can also have like multiple accounts too. So like one private key can hold like different Bitcoin wallets rather than just addresses. So that's also helpful. Sometimes you can do email sharing. I can't remember what the example was there. Somebody did a backup via email, and sometimes that could have a security leak because you're now associating a Bitcoin wallet with a certain email. Another good feature is actually make a transaction on a different device and broadcast it to the network somewhere else. That improves your privacy. You don't want to get into complications or complex stuff there. A partially signed Bitcoin transaction, very same thing. It's another feature set, improves your privacy and improves your transactional availabilities and features. Another nice thing is you can easily import old wallets into that said software. So those are really nice features to have. Most of the wallets are free. Not many do have customer support. Some do, but normally you're going to pay for those, or it's going to be a custodial kind of feature there. Some do have a buy and sell feature right in the wallet, but most of those are not as good to use versus, again, going to like a Kraken or Swan Bitcoin, somebody outside of there. Definitely check the legal use policies. What's their TNA or TNCs? Because some actually do collect data, and we try to avoid using those for obvious reasons. And some are nice just for fun stuff. You can go and actually customize some of those features. Definitely don't use a web wallet. We can get into an example if you guys want to see those. I'll put this up on the website too. I'll share that link as well. Your better websites. I know, Melissa, you said you downloaded this before, but Bitcoin Core at bitcoin.org, Electrum, but those are desktop ones that are a little bit more advanced. You can also go and use things like Blue Wallet, Sparrow Wallet's one, and the Blockstream Green for desktop. Those are all good wallets to check out.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, I think there was something I think that you posted that kind of asked you like questions, and some of it I'm just like, I need easy. I can understand what you're saying, and that's how I ended up doing Samurai. Was because
Yeah,
it just
that's
seemed like it was very, very easy. And the thing is it was funny because you had mentioned the network issue, and it asked me at the time when I did it, do you want to do SOAR and a tour? And I was like, sure, don't know what that is, but let's do it. So obviously, so when I downloaded it and when it comes up and it's opening through, I got that little thing where it's going through, I guess, the Tor TOR that you
yes.
mentioned earlier. So, I mean, I'm still like, I'm scared to go. I mean, I just kind of go in there and I'm like, I look at it and I go, okay, I have Bitcoin in there. And then I don't, there's other options. Like you can do like the little hamburger menu. And I look and I'm like one of them said, sweep your coin. I was like, what does that mean? So I just don't do anything. I just let it sit there until it's time, to start using it. And right now it's not the time to start using it.
Yeah, that's awesome that you've just naturally found how easy Samurai Wallet is. Blue Wallet, Moon Wallet, that's also on. I'm sorry, Moon Wallet is not on in the Google Play Store on Android, but Samurai is the best wallet for an Android or Google environment because not only are you outside of the iOS ecosystem, but it also really gives you more freedom in order, especially Samurai Wallet, in order to go and make those kind of connections. So not many wallets offer, hey, would you like to route your networking through Tor, right? And that's the whole point, because there's so many. Chad can make many comments on this too, because we've talked before, and I actually scrolled through another keynote that I had here on that. There's actually something kind of a small footnote here. There's like a step 0 where there's just general best internet and privacy practices to use. For example, don't search. This is the whole point why people use Tor or a VPN. Don't use Google to search what you're cooking for dinner tonight on your phone at your local network, because now Google knows what you're going to cook for dinner tonight. And you can just see how that can be extrapolated out for knowing your financial transactions and things. So that's where something like routing your network through Tor, you wouldn't even think to do that, but it adds that much, even small, that much more of an additional layer of information that you don't need to reveal. And that's what it's all about. Privacy is not about hiding anything. It's about you being selective on what you reveal to the world. Samurai Wallet just wants you to have a really great Bitcoin wallet and to use the whirlpool so they can collect the fees. That's it. You get your privacy, you get your value, great wallet, they make money, you're happy, all is well ends well. So why can't more people, try to, build platforms like that? That's what's hard. What do I got? Oh yeah, there's these last two, and I got citations there, but I want to show the walkthrough. Cold Card, this is now MK4. This is probably the best hardware wallet to have for your offline storage. It is more advanced and harder to use than Ledger or Trezor, but those are other two very similar options to go and check out Cold card is in the middle, Trezor is on that right, and the ledger is at top left. So these are offline hardware wallets that you can go and use. And I will put these links in the chat as well for resources, but I'll also put this up on the site and on the YouTube page. So really quick, let me swap screens here. Which one was it? Yeah, this one. Is that right? Yeah. You probably, I don't know if you saw this. Where was I at? Where was I at? Yeah, here you go. So this is like an example of one of your Bitcoin wallets. This is an older version of Blue Wallet. There's your wallet interface. You can see your different wallets. You have a transactional menu in there where you can go and see. And again, you can go and buy Bitcoin if you want, send a receive button at the bottom. That's what a receive would look like. There's your BC1. Again, scan the QR code or copy and paste it. Always copy and paste. There's a send. You can note the fees underneath. So not only is there a place for your address, write a note, but also customize your fees. Again, how fast you want it to go, fast, medium, or slow. Always do slow because it's cheapest, especially sending to yourself. Yeah. What else we got? What are some other screenshots? There you go. You can go and add it, like I said, add a wallet. Some of them actually offer connecting right over to Hodl Hodl. We talked about that a little bit a couple weeks ago. The settings page, normally they have them in there. And again, privacy, network, security, that's where you're going to have the Tor features at. Here's a version for Hodl Hodl for peer-to-peer, transactions. Again, depending on the market, fees wildly vary, but just other options. Go and add a wallet, Lightning or Bitcoin. Those are your private keys we just said, and then now you're back to your main menu there. So yeah, Lightning as well here. I'll just skim through Lightning real quick. Again, second layer, you can send very quickly at a cheap rate. You can select the Lightning side instead. There's no wallet directly for a Lightning backup because it's actually connected to your Bitcoin wallet. But because this one is a custodial, you can connect over to Blue Wallet's Lightning node and they will handle the transactions for you. So you go and send funds there. They do all the back end stuff for you. It's at your LND hub and you're good to go. And then what's nice is you can go and actually buy and send and receive sats. Okay, I just sent and received 100 sats are for that example, and then 100 sats are inside of your wallet. Go and spend it and check out different places. So that is just an example of utilizable wallet. But any questions on that, Melissa? Or there you go. I'll go back to that one.
No, I think I've just kind of, I don't have any because I did want to go, okay, so you're like, and you can spend it. And I was like, I don't even know where I can spend. I don't even, not that I want to spend it because that's not the thing, but it's just you said spend it. And I was like, where do you like buy stuff with your Bitcoin? I feel like I'm going to go like in the deep web to go buy like, something with my Bitcoin, even though that's not what I want to do. I just kind of want to just sit and hold it in the wallet. But
yeah, definitely hold and don't even worry about spending it yet. You gotta get a nice little stack before you go and say, okay, now I'll go and look to spend and see where you want to go and try different features and things like that. But that's basically what you just did. You spent your Bitcoin on that exchange and received that payment on your mobile Samurai wallet. From the exchange to in the exchange's eyes, they spent Bitcoin to an outside wallet. So that's just the whole workflow and mechanism. That's it. But if you actually want to go and spend Bitcoin, yeah, you do the exact same thing. You go to any website, you see a little Bitcoin logo. I actually just did this today. Now that I'm thinking about it, I should have did it through Strike because then I would have got points or dollars back for it. But simply go and scan a QR code, you receive a product just like you typed in your credit card information. Things like BTC Pay Server, LN Bits, various other web platforms that you can go and set up as a payment terminal online. So Azteco vouchers, Chad, different methods like that too for more privacy focused stuff. But it's all the same mechanism. Just do you actually want to get a product on the other side?
Are you thinking about getting a hard wallet, Melissa? Or no?
I don't know right now. I think I just,
Okay.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around just.
If you decide to, Max, could you go down to slide 24? You should always try to buy these wallets if you're buying them. Buy them from the manufacturer. Don't buy that Trezor. I personally have one of those, and you want to buy it from Trezor. Don't buy it from Amazon. Just they could be hacked, or you just don't know where they come from. Buy it from the manufacturer.
Gotcha.
If you're buying a ledger, buy it from the manufacturer. If you're buying the cold card, buy it directly from them.
Okay. Yeah, because just kind of, still kind of just being new and just,
I
still
understand.
kind of learning about, because having conversations with people about Bitcoin, you've got, people just don't, I don't know. So I'm not even going to act like I can even have a conversation with someone about it to go, oh yeah, you should do, because I can't, I don't know how, and I kind of do read a little bit of this and I look at a little of that. I know that I think in not the week, this past one, but the one before last, I think y'all had put a couple of links in the chat box with like some books and some other things. And I think I
Yes.
kind of tried to do like a print screen, and you keep saying that you have that. Where do you said something about you're going to put this someplace, and I'm like going, okay, where did you say? So when you do this recording that you're doing now, where did you say you put these? So if I
I just
wanted to
put
go
it up.
back and look.
Yeah, I put it up on the YouTube page. I'll put the link in the chat again, but it's in the chat. But if you just search
Okay.
Satoshi Service Center on YouTube, I will have this video up. Again, I don't do any editing. Editing takes all the time, but just trying to grow the group more in other areas. And then I have our other website. I need to have it go live tonight. I'll finish up a couple things, but I'll actually put the keynotes and list of resources on the website. But just find the YouTube page and satservicecenter.com, and I'll find.
Yep, I got
I'll
it
share
right
that
now.
out. And perfect.
Yeah, what's in the chat also, Melissa, you can hit the ... and you can save that chat. That chat will be saved to your computer and you can go back and look at it
Oh.
later. There's
You
the
think I
Yes.
should know.
for the chat.
You think I should know that, but it's just like,
Well,
considering.
it takes
I
a while
didn't
to
know
figure
for a
some
long
of these things
time.
out. I didn't either. Yeah, so when you go to the chat, there's a little ... in the corner. If you open up your chat, the chat window.
Yeah.
And then there's this little smiley face there, and then to the right it says more with a ...
Oh, I don't have a ...
Oh, you don't?
Oh, I
chat?
have no. Yeah, I don't have no. No, I don't have. I'm not that special.
Maybe you need to make the chat a little bit wider or something, or usually you have that.
I believe you said you're on your phone too. Is that right?
Oh,
Yes, I am on my phone. Yes,
that could be
I'm
the
buying
reason.
Bitcoin. I'm buying Bitcoin, but I have no internet at my house. Because I just don't, because that sounds insane. Oh my God, look at all this you put. Okay. Yeah. Woo,
Yeah, I'm
that's
not
a
sure how
lot.
that works on your phone if you can save the chat.
That's
actually.
okay. I'm going to see if I can paste it into my notes.
And that's why I did it
think.
like that. You should be able to double click that and copy and paste.
Yep, that's what I just did. I just actually just went
Perfect.
in and got everything you put in there and copied that message and just shoved it into a note. Oh,
So
yes. Well, that's
you're on
beautiful.
that same track, and we talked about it a little before. Chad knows all about this. There's a order of operations when you come into Bitcoin, and again, this is kind of beautiful to be on the journey with you because you're literally at week 2 or starting week 3. So this is a multi-year, many tens, if not hundreds, of mind-blowing realizations that you will come to over the next 3, 4, 5 years as you get into this. Again, I don't want to steer you away from other crypto stuff at the moment because just how new you are, and I understand how wide-eyed and naive everybody is coming into this space, and you're just going to get hardened, and you're going to find that Bitcoin is even more and more, kind of that center focus. Other things are, going on, but you'll see how much meaning that actually has. But there's a whole order of operations to come into the space. Again, you're wide-eyed, naive. You learn a little bit, you get burned here, you make money here, and then you'll actually find more people in your area to go and talk to. You're already coming to meetup and stuff, and then now you're going to hey, I got $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 worth of Bitcoin. I really need to learn how to keep it more secure. Now you'll go out and spend $200 or $300 on a hardware wallet to go and protect $4,000, $5,000, $10,000. Okay.
Right.
So
Yes.
it's all about a skin of the game. Take your time, go slow, read the resources, talk to the people, feel like you're the dumb person asking the simple question, but no question is ever dumb. But it's going to take a long time before you can say, yeah, you come to the meetup and make a complaint. I tried to connect my cold card to Sparrow Wallet, and I was getting this BIP error, so I did this PR request on GitHub or something to ask Craig Rawl the question. Right? If you can get there, oh man, I'm kissing your feet. But it's a process. Everything in due time.
See, and you say all that, it's funny because you sound like I mean, and it's crazy. I teach information technology at a high school level, and we're just trying to get these kids to learn how to do stuff. And I hear you when you're talking. You're that kid that's in my class that starts talking to me about how he's using Linux and all these different things and getting excited and tells me about this special piece of equipment that he bought for this computer that he's building at home. You're that kid in my classroom. And I just kind of, and eventually I'll be like, okay, so hey, if we were going to go do this, how would you build this computer? And
Yeah.
my kids tell me, well, you want this, and they give me this whole shopping list. And we went shopping, spent $1,800 on computers, and my kids got to build three computers in the classroom. So you're that
awesome.
kid. So
that's really cool that you got to do that with them, and they got that list. But I've heard that before, so I apologize. I try to wind it back and keep it as high level, simple as possible. But
don't wind down. No, because that's actually like, you can kind of feel like the excitement. Because I mean, you kind of peaked a little bit there. I was like, oh, he's really good. Whatever he's saying is really good. I don't know what it means, but it's good.
You might ask those kids if anyone knows about Bitcoin. You see how many hands go up.
You know what? I did that I did that probably like the second or third day we were in class. And I had this one kid that was like, I mean, he went down the negative Nancy rabbit hole. And so I just shut it down. I was like, okay, this is not the class to talk about Bitcoin, because I can't even, I don't feel like I know enough. If they were to ask me questions, I'd be like, I don't know, let's look about it. I wish that one of my kids from last year that was in my class that kind of mentioned Bitcoin a couple of times. And I mean, he's mentioned it a couple of times, and I'm just like, these people are crazy. And so I'm just kind of dipping my toe in the water, and we'll just see, because I hate to say that I still feel kind of I feel a little, I still feel like a skeptic, but I also also don't want to miss out, at the same time, because I mean, I hate to miss out on stuff. So I'm like, so I just figure I'll just start educating, myself. And, I did buy that one book that I think the other guy had recommended, the Bitcoin Standard. And
Perfect.
my teacher brain is just way too tired for that. So that's the reason why I was asking, because I know he had put another couple of things out there. Because I mean, I need something that's just really light, and this one is so like, it's just too deep
It
for me.
is. It
It's
is.
not.
The Bitcoin Standard is a very heavy book to dive in for a new person like yourself. You need something
Yeah,
like, where was it at here? Let me share my screen.
I need the picture anime book. That's what I.
Yeah, the where's it at here? Yeah, the can you see my screen now? The Bitcoin Dash only.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we've talked about them before here, and again, those are the non-technical read Bitcoin Standard. You're better off to find something. Where was? Did you see Nick Batia's book as well? The Little Bitcoin book was nice. That was a simple, high-level thing. I'll put that in the chat for you. That's only like 100
So that's
page.
okay. I just took a screenshot. We're good.
Oh, perfect, perfect. Yeah, this one's a nice book to read through. Where
Okay.
is Nick Batia's book? Or yeah, Inventing Bitcoin by Jan Pritzker. Here's a PDF, so it's free to read. You don't have to buy the book. This is a very simple book.
Okay.
Yeah, there's that one. Again, you could buy the book as well on Amazon. What else we got? I'm trying to find Jan's. Oh yeah, there you go. No, BJ Boy Potty. There you go. The bullish case for Bitcoin. That was the other one there. Take a screenshot of that too.
All right, hold on. I was opening up your other links that you put out there. Okay, got it. All right, cool.
Yeah, that's another good book to definitely check out. But
Okay.
yeah, a lot easier reads. Whoops, a lot easier reads than. Oh, there we go. The Bitcoin Standard.
Yeah,
That is
I
definitely
did try, because I mean, friend, I did, I got, I mean, I think, and the bad thing is I only got to the forward, and I was like, oh, I'm already tired. I was like, oh, this is burning up my brain. And I was
yeah.
like, oh, okay, maybe I should get something a little bit more, and something a little easier, because I think this one's going to be too deep, even though it's a really skinny book, which is, which is great. But I was like, and I kind of flipped through a little bit, and I went, okay, I probably need something to, let's go back to, I need the kindergarten Bitcoin book. So I'll check out these other. Great thing about, Amazon, I can take it and keep it for a month and return it if I decide that I don't want it or really like it, and I read it all. So fabulous.
Exactly. Good. Yeah, I like finding. It's nice when they go and upload the PDF too. I didn't realize Jan put Inventing Bitcoin as a PDF on his Dropbox, so that's really nice. I'm going to go and add that to my reading list. But sometimes you need those higher level things before you get into heavier books, especially the Bitcoin Standard, the Fiat Standard, even Jimmy Song's the not Inventing Bitcoin. I just saw his book. What is his book?
I think it's called Programming Bitcoin. Is that the one?
Thank you. Is that what it is? Programming Bitcoin?
Yeah, I just bought that one.
Yes.
Not long ago.
It's a great book, but it's heavy programming. So if you're not going to be sitting down in front of a computer trying to send a raw transaction in terminal, don't even waste your time.
Oh yeah. Don't. I just need you. I'm just trying to learn Java, so I can teach,
There you
so my
go.
kids can pass the test. We're just trying to learn Java, so my kids can, because that's one of the things, because we do teach computer sciences. They took a business teacher and they turned us into computer science teachers, which is fine. I'll take it because it's a challenge.
I
But
do
for
have a
some
question
reason,
on that.
yeah.
For what you're doing, what do you see the kids are most interested, or where does their attention gravitate towards when you're doing that stuff? Is it in actual coding? Is it in like building the computers? I don't know exactly what topics you're covering, and I understand a high school class is only so long. You know, it's only 3 months long. You know,
Well,
per quarter,
actually,
per
in
semester. But
right. Well, see, in ours, it's different. So our kids, we're on what we call a block schedule. So we get our kids for 75 minutes. 18 weeks is considered a full year's worth of class. And we see them absolutely every day. So what we're doing, there's a couple of different things that you can do, but the level that we're at, a lot of kids are interested in the building of the computers, but the problem with that is the number is really small. So like out of maybe 60 kids, I might have 2 kids or 3 kids that are that's their thing. Then you have some other kids so it's just small amounts. But most of the kids we're focusing on computer science. So it's the programming. So we're teaching them a lot of programming. You know, I start them off, we use like code.org and Khan Academy and things like that, just to kind of get them introduced, because, you know, they have to understand that basic, just the concept. And that's really what we're trying to teach them, is just the concept, you know, of loops and, you know, if statements and all of those things. So just trying to get that part while trying to teach them how to do it in a language. So, but a lot of kids do like the coding, but it's some of them, it's really hard work, and it's just not what they're willing to do. So it just, you know, we get that kid or those kids that like to do dabble with the computers. But the bad thing is you also get those ones that think we're coming in here and we're going to play, you know, games in our pajamas. I'm like, no, you're making games. So, and then, I mean, there's just so many different avenues the kids can take, but right now we're only offering 2. They either can do the programming pathway, or we just started doing cybersecurity. And so we have cybersecurity, and I have 9 kids in that class, which is not the number they wanted. But they almost didn't have the class because we didn't have the correct number, because they can't justify, you know, me having 9 kids in one class when I should have 28 to 30.
Yeah.
What kind of things do you go through in there? I'm curious now.
And which one, cybersecurity or computer science?
Yeah, like just some
okay.
basic things.
So what I use, because IT is not my background. Oh, okay. No, we actually we're not doing it the cybersecurity probably from the raw standpoint. I think we're doing it from I think we're doing it more from the front end and not the back end, is how I kind of think about it. The back end to me is that we're programming code, that we're programming and doing cybersecurity that way. We're not actually doing it that way. We're doing it from the front. So we use what a college uses. I found this program called Test Out, where they teach, it goes through all of these different things, and it does show them how to do hands-on activities. Like my kids will learn how to harden a system. They'll learn how to whitelist. They will learn, there's a couple of things where they actually have to go in and code at the command prompt, but we don't do a lot of that. But it's just, I mean, to me, I think it's hard stuff. If you've never done it before, to me, it's hard. If that's what you do every day, they're probably like, oh, this is easy stuff. But I mean, I'm teaching high school kids something that really they're supposed to be learning in college, just because I want my kids to meet what the state wants them to do. And you can't teach cybersecurity to high school kids without having something or an expert. And I don't know one expert that's going to quit their job in cybersecurity to come teach at high school. I mean, if I can get good, I might be like, oh, I think I'm going to retire. I think I might go do some cybersecurity stuff, but I'm just not there yet because my
I don't know. Watch
kids
some
have to.
YouTube videos. There's a lot of them out there.
That is what my kids, that is the couple of kids that I have had that are like phenomenal kids. They are my YouTube babies.
Yeah, this
I
is a
mean,
good way to learn.
it's fascinating. It's fascinating. I mean, it's just fascinating to me, you know, how some of these kids, but learn, by doing things. But I mean, the state of Georgia, which is where I'm at, they want the kids to take a CompTIA test in security that I know that there are adults that don't take that test or that do take that test that are working in the field that cannot pass it. And I mean, I've had high school students come. I've had one pass the security one, which just blew my mind. But he was a YouTube baby, and then I had one girl, and 2 years ago, and she missed the score, which is like an 890. She missed it by 11 points just from doing what we did in the classroom. But I'm sure she probably might had dabbled. So the kids that dabble, like the YouTube babies, and in fact, I'll mention that to them because like I try to do what I can in the class, but if the kids don't do anything outside of class, I tell them, I can only do so much. And if you want this is not an easy job. That's the reason why it pays good money. So,
So you use the
but we
test
just,
out CompTIA is what you use, huh? Okay,
yes, we use the
great.
test out CompTIA. And I found, like I said, I found that at one of the local colleges when I was teaching before, in another school district. And I was like, oh, I'm going to use this for my kids, because they'll have a better chance, and because at the time I've only taught cybersecurity. This will be my third year. And I still consider myself a newbie because it's kind of like, to me, it's kind of like if you don't use it, you lose it. And I'm
Yeah, it
always
changes all the time
constantly
too.
right. And so you've got to, and so I
But,
need something that I think because they're updating everything, and then I know that the test changes every couple of years. When I started, we were at the 401. Now we're at the 601. So we've had 3 different tests since I've been teaching cybersecurity. So, it's
yeah,
pretty
you'll find it
fabulous.
that in Bitcoin that, man, you just really got to have some good OPSEC. You don't have a customer support number to call, so you are the customer support number.
Yeah,
Max will
yeah, I
tell you
was
the
really
same thing probably. So
doing the wallet was really scary. I'm not even gonna lie because I was like, oh, okay, but this is one of I'll tell myself, I said, this is the one the Bitcoin guy said was out there. And I was like, this seems like the easiest one. And so I just jumped into the pool. But I was nervous because there was like a 30-minute window and I was like, oh my God, I lost all my stuff. And so I had to go back and look, had to Google it to find it. And I went, oh, okay, it's right there. Just relax. It just
well, what do you
hasn't
think IT
moved
people
over
do all the
yet.
time? That's what they do. They Google everything.
Yeah, that's what I tell my kids. That's what I tell my students that I'm like, I said, I Google everything, even if it's so something stupid, I want to know just because I want to know. And that's the reason why I love what I do is because, it's a challenge. But it's a to me, it's a good challenge because that means I'm not becoming I'm not just, oh, I'm going to teach I'm like, what are we going to learn new today?
Yeah, you're in
And
such
that's
a
kind of,
unique position to be teaching the kids. They're giving you that feedback back while you're staying ahead of the ever changing, software and security world like that. So you're in a yeah, you have a wonderful seat getting into Bitcoin, coming up, understanding what you're already teaching, as much as you can. You have a very special seat for yourself in 2-3 years if you want. You can, again, I was just talking to people last night. they got into Bitcoin last year, 2 years ago ish, right? They heard about it for a couple of years, but ever since coming to meetups, talking to people, doing the events, collaborating, they now raise funds and building their Bitcoin company. So I'm not saying that you're going to specifically do that, but I can already see where you can go and use your educational skills and create some type of a Bitcoin product for in the cybersecurity or software dev world like that. Because you're in a very special seat, as it sounds. And what's really nice is I don't know how you keep doing it, but you keep finding like the perfect things. You're getting your stuff off of Robinhood in time. The first app that you download is Samurai Wallet, right? It's like, wow. Most people are using Coinbase and buying on Trust Wallet and holding it here. You're going down the right path, and I think it's that background that you have is kind of giving you that intuition guidance of like, all right, this is probably a better thing here. Oh, Tor, yeah, sure, I'll go and use that. I don't know what it is, but sure. So it's really cool to hear your journey, but you have a very unique seat for sure.
It stands for the onion router, by the way, Tor.
Yes.
Oh, she's left already.
Oh, dang, she's gone. She might. I wonder if she doesn't pay for it. What's that? Yeah, she might not pay for it. That's why she's only locked out for 60 minutes, but I'm not sure.
I see. Have we been on for 60 minutes already?
I think it's been, but you don't pay for Zoom either, do you?
I had to sign on with my Zoom account, yes. But I don't pay for it, no.
So I wonder maybe it's just an app that she's using.
It might be so much per month, so many hours per month.
Even free though? Because I know she joined the other meetups.
I'm pretty sure that it does have some kind of limit.
Okay.
But I don't know what the limit. I think mine's longer than an hour first. I don't know why, but
I remember we would do these, and it was this is beginning of 2020 and stuff, and the videos were capped at 60 minutes, and it was because I wasn't paying for it ever. After now, it worked fine, but yeah, it seems you can't even transfer as well. Like if you want somebody else to be a host, they need to be a paid member. So the Zoom thing is annoying. I have everything ready to go for not PeerTube. I'm doing a PeerTube thing, but Jitsi to like self-host and all that stuff. Yeah, well, more specifically, self-hosted Jitsi. So that's nice outside of their limited bandwidth on the server. So
yeah, you should use that one instead. I personally think, but it's up to you.
Well, and it's nice too. You go right to the website, right? You go to whatever. You go to Sat Service Center.
Yeah, you
go
make
to
up your
Meetup.
own URL.
Exactly. Yeah, you make up your whole own thing like that. Works